Welcome, everyone, to the NoDQ.com live recap of WWE Night of Champions 2025 from Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, which will also host the 2026 Royal Rumble. We had the King and Queen of the Ring finals on this show. Let's discuss it. Let's break down the matches. We opened up the show with Cody Rhodes versus Randy Orton in the men's King of the Ring final. Crowd was red hot for this match, as expected, based off of the SmackDown reactions. They were singing the entrance themes for both guys. Orton and Cody were very much soaking in the crowd reactions. Now, early in the match, Randy Orton was selling his back, and he did sell it throughout the match. It was very back and forth, as you would expect from these two. Cody was getting some boos during it. He targeted the back. He used the ring post. Crowd did not appreciate that too much. Cody came off the top with an avalanche cutter. And then Orton was able to shift the momentum using some of his signature moves. Cody, though, countered an RKO, hit the crossroads. Orton kicked out of that. Then Orton hit the RKO. Cody kicked out of that. Orton started feeling desperate at this point. He went for the punt kick to his good friend Cody Rhodes, but Cody was able to avoid it. They traded blows. Orton was able to hit another RKO, but once again, Cody kicked out. At this point, Randy Orton was feeling very desperate. He went for a steel chair, and the referee took it away. Orton then exposed the turnbuckle. However, it was Orton that went into the turnbuckle, and then Cody Rhodes picked up the win with another crossroads. Very good match here between these two. Predictable result, as I've mentioned on my streams over the past few weeks. From the moment they announced the tournament, I felt like Cody was winning. Solid match, though. Nice way to start off the show. The crowd really added to it as well. It was a fun match. Cody Rhodes wins King of the Ring, and now he will officially challenge the WWE champion at SummerSlam. Now, after the match, Cody was interviewed by Byron Saxton. Cody gave a shout out to Randy Orton. Orton looked very disappointed, and I wonder if this will set up an eventual heel turn from Orton, and we can see Cody versus Orton revisited. Cody talked about SummerSlam and said he will get the ball back at the biggest party of the summer, SummerSlam. Cody didn't necessarily need King of the Ring, but he's WWE's top babyface, just like Bret Hart losing the WWF title at WrestleMania 9 and then winning King of the Ring to cement him as the top guy. Just in case you were wondering who the top guy is, it is, in fact, Cody Rhodes. I would have liked to have seen Sami Zayn win it and then face Gunther for the title, but it looks like they have other plans, and we'll talk more about Sami Zayn here in just a few moments. We had Rhea Ripley going up against Raquel in a street fight. This was a good match. I enjoyed it. I think that both women brought the best out of each other in this one. Raquel tied up Rhea in the ring ropes, used a kendo stick on her. She tried to use a chair, but Rhea kicked it in her face. They fought on the outside of the ring. Raquel ended up power bombing Rhea through the timekeeper's table. Rhea was able to fight back, though. She busted out a razor's edge. Rhea put on a submission hold, and then we had Roxanne Perez interfering. By the way, the women were wearing the full body outfits. Are they going to do that for the Royal Rumble, or will officials in Saudi Arabia ease up on it and let the women wear more of their normal type of gear? It's just going to be awkward to me when you have 30 women all wearing full body suits. The people in charge of coming up with the designs better get creative with these. In this match, everybody's wearing the dark colored attire and it all blends together. Later in the show, Jade Cargill did change things up. We'll talk about that. But anyways, Roxanne got involved. Rhea was able to fight her off. And then Raquel regained the upper hand due to Roxanne's interference. A table was set up in the corner, placed on top of the ropes, and both women were fighting on top of it. Rhea was able to give Raquel a riptide from the top of the table, which was set up like a platform. The referee was holding it to make sure they didn't fall. It looked a bit scary. And I'm sure some people will not like that, in the same way that in ladder matches, you'll see the referee grabbing the ladder to make sure the wrestlers don't fall. It is what it is. It's for safety. Rhea Ripley hit the big riptide. It was a cool looking spot. Rhea picked up the 1-2-3 victory. No surprise there. I fully expected Rhea to win. Good stuff here. We then had Sami Zayn versus Karrion Kross. Sami Zayn won he wore the traditional headdress in Middle Eastern countries for the match. Zayn was able to build up the early momentum, but then Kross gained the upper hand for a while. He was suplexing Zayn around the ring. He was laughing at Zayn. Zayn got fired up for a bit. Kross was able to regain the upper hand, and Zayn then countered the Kross hammer with a blue thunder bomb. Karrion Kross kicked out of it. Of course he did. Then Karrion Kross was able to avoid the haluva kick. He put on the cross jacket submission. Now, back in the day, in the 80s, during the Hulk Hogan era, they would do the routine where Hogan would be in a submission and the hand would have to be dropped 3 times. In recent WWE history, that's changed, and it's just been one hand dropping, the match is over. Here, they brought back the old way where it was the 3 drops. And I think some fans got confused. They're conditioned to 1 drop being the end of the match, like with Jey Uso and Gunther. Zayn, his hand dropped twice, and then he did the Hulk Hogan, lifted the hand up on the 3rd drop, and he was able to get to the rope. Kross continued his offense. He was trash talking, but then Zayn, out of nowhere, hit the haluva kick and got the 1-2-3 victory. It was good. It was a good match. I'm not surprised that Karrion Kross lost this one. I just did not see Sami Zayn losing in Saudi Arabia. Did they do the 3-hand gesture? I thought it was 1, but I could be wrong on that. And yes, Kross did take some back bumps in this match. He just outright said in an interview that it was BS. It was a BS rumor. I didn't even notice anything about Kross not taking back bumps, and all of a sudden I'm seeing all these posts on social media, and it was news to me. Good match here. I feel bad that Kross didn't win, but he got his PLE match. Maybe if it was different timing, Kross could have picked up a win. We'll see if he gets any more of a push or that's it for him. We'll see. Next up, we had Jacob Fatu versus Solo Sikoa for the men's U.S. title. Solo went right after Jacob Fatu. I mean, you have to. This guy is all gas and no brakes. Fatu, though, was quickly able to fight off Solo. It was back and forth here. Solo tried to give Fatu, he did give him a spinning solo on the ring apron, another one on the floor. And Fatu made a comeback. Solo got a little bit too arrogant. He was mocking Fatu, and that worked against him. But then, as Fatu was perhaps on the verge of winning, we had the outside interference, as I think a lot of us expected. JC Mateo was out there, and then we had the return of Tonga Loa, who's been out since Survivor Series. He attacked Fatu while the referee was distracted. And Solo attempted to win, but Fatu kicked out, and then Fatu was able to dodge the Samoan spike. He went for the moonsault. He took out the henchman with the dive to the outside and then went for the moonsault. But we had the debut of Hikuleo, the third brother, the third son of Haku. He was in a couple of dark matches over the past few weeks, so people were expecting him to show up, and in fact, he did show up, and he choke slammed Jacob on the announce table, got him back in the ring, and then Solo hit the Samoan spike, got the 1-2-3 victory to become the new United States champion. And I believe this was Fatu's first pinfall loss in a singles match, maybe first pinfall match period in WWE. They've been really good about protecting him. Obviously, this was a 4-on-1 situation. Solo Sikoa wins. I was so close to picking Solo in the predictions. I ended up going with Solo by DQ, which means the champion would retain. I figured Solo had to win this match since it's the first match of the feud. I expected it to continue, and really the heel should be winning the first match. I was thinking he might win the title, but then I thought, well, maybe they'll just do some kind of a DQ to not have Jacob take a pinfall loss. But there you go. He lost the title. Solo's your new champion, and I suspect Jimmy Uso will get involved, and maybe even Jey Uso gets involved in this. We'll see what happens. We got a couple of super chats here, which I'll get to. Going back to the Karrion Kross match, Building Nexus sent in a $2 super chat. Thank you. I appreciate it. Says, how do you think Kross did in the match? I like Karrion Kross. I think he did fine. I like his entrance, and he seems to have a bit more confidence than he did before, maybe because the crowds are responding to him in a positive way. And before, he seemed to struggle to get crowd reactions. It's just funny to me that they pushed him. He wasn't getting over. And now that he is over, they're not pushing him. I really hope he'll get more opportunities. I think growing out his hair was a good thing. His entrance is really cool. And his in-ring work is solid. He's not the best wrestler in the world, but he's very good. He's got a great look. And he seems like a really nice guy, both on television and in real life. Well, not so much TV, but more so real life. Seems like a really good guy. And I think he just has a lot of personality that is untapped in WWE. Shout out to the Lonely Soldier who sent in a $2 super chat. Thank you for that. Much appreciated. Yes, Aaron, they finally brought back the 3-hand drop. Yeah, it was done very frequently in the Hulk Hogan era. Hogan would always do the nope on that third attempt, and it always got a big crowd pop. And we haven't really seen it much in recent years. For the most part, it's been the one-hand drops, matches called off, and that's it. All right, next up, we had the final of the Queen of the Ring tournament, the Queen's Crown, whatever you want to call it. Jade Cargill versus Asuka. This was the weakest match of the show. Not a lot of crowd heat. I think the crowd wanted Asuka to win, but deep down knew it was probably not happening. And they didn't really want to boo Jade, it seemed, but they surely were favoring Asuka over Jade. I thought it looked fine. Jade had the superstar look. Like I said earlier, changing things up with the attire. She had the white attire, basically looking like Storm from X-Men. It's the whole a storm is coming, just a reference to the character Storm from X-Men. And it was a solid match, but there were a few awkward moments in it. I definitely think it was the weakest one of the show. Asuka was able to out-wrestle Jade, but then Jade, of course, with the strength, was able to power out of one of Jade's submissions. And Asuka then fought back with some strikes, came off the top with a missile drop kick. Jade was able to counter one of Asuka's strikes with a power bomb. Asuka kicked out of that. And then Asuka countered Jaded with the Asuka lock. Jade escaped from that. Asuka went for the running hip attack, the Empress Impact, but Jade countered that, hit her with the Jaded, and won the 1-2-3, or won the match, got the 1-2-3 to become the queen of the ring. She got her crown. She cut the post-match promo and said a storm is coming for SummerSlam. And I do think we're going to see a cash-in very soon with Naomi and Jade in this feud. I mean, it's just pretty much a given. I'd be shocked if Naomi doesn't ruin Jade's chance to become champion. And maybe Jade will eventually win the title from Naomi. But that's my prediction at this time. If I had to say what's going to happen, I think Naomi will cash in and become champion and screw Jade out of her big moment. I mean, that seems to be the logical way to go with this one. We had our main event, John Cena versus CM Punk. Highly anticipated match coming off of their classic feud and matches in 2011 and 2012. The crowd was a lot more positive about CM Punk than they were at the kickoff event on Friday. Maybe it was him apologizing for that tweet about the blood-covered dick in Saudi Arabia. Maybe it was the freestyle rap promo that he cut on Cena, won some of the fans back. Regardless, they very much liked Punk, and they loved John Cena. They were chanting the John Cena sucks and singing it for his song. This match was pretty much what you would expect from these two. I mean, it felt like these guys were back in 2011. They delivered a really strong match. They did the long feeling out process and countering each other's big moves. Cena did bust out the 5-knuckle shuffle, and they escaped each other's moves. Like Cena was able to get out of the GTS. Punk got out of the AA. Punk came off the top with the big elbow drop. Cena put on the STF, and Punk got out of it and put the STF on Cena. Cena eventually hit the AA. Punk was able to kick out of that. Punk regained control. And Cena, though, countered the GTS, hit another AA. Punk kicked out again. Then he went for a third AA. He nailed it, yet Punk kicked out a third time. And then at this point, John Cena, he was desperate. He went for the WWE title, and he was going to use it, but then he decided against it. So as Jerry pointed out, John Cena, he's not sure if it's the right thing to do. Definitely a tease for a potential babyface turn, which I think will happen before he's done. I think we all expect it to happen. We had Cena continuing the match. Punk hit the GTS. Cena kicked out. Then the referee got knocked down because it's a WWE title match and it happens pretty much every time. We got the ref bump, and then we got the shenanigans. Seth Rollins, Paul Heyman, Braun Breaker, Bronson Reed came out there. Heyman had the briefcase, the Money in the Bank contract. Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed attacked Punk. They put Punk through the announce table, and then Rollins was going to cash in on Cena. He brought out referee Charles Robinson, and they did a throwback, a callback to when Charles Robinson ran down to the ring at WrestleMania 24, Undertaker and Edge, 2008. Robinson ran down, and that was a meme at the time. And now they recreated it. Robinson runs down, but then John Cena attacked Charles Robinson, and he fought with Seth Rollins. You had Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker coming back in, though. Then we had Penta and Sami Zayn getting involved, and they went after Braun Breaker. Penta dived off the stage onto Breaker, taking him out of the equation. Then you had Bronson Reed going for the tsunami on Cena, but CM Punk pushed Bronson Reed off the top, saving John Cena. Cena and Punk were in the ring, and Cena took out Reed with the AA. It was back to Punk and Cena one-on-one, and it felt like maybe we were getting the Cena face turn right here. Punk went for a handshake, and Cena accepted the handshake, hugged him, but then they recreated the Elimination Chamber moment where they did a close-up of Cena's face, and he had that stern, evil look, and he went for the low blow, but Punk was ready this time. Punk turned it into a GTS attempt, but then Seth Rollins came back in, gave Punk the curb stomp. However, John Cena threw Rollins out of the ring, took out Punk, and pinned him 1, 2, 3 to retain the championship. It was overbooked. There was definitely a lot happening in this match. A million things at the end, people running out, and it was quite chaotic at the end. How often do we get like just clean title matches? Not too often, where there's no outside interference, no shenanigans. I mean, there was a lot here, but it was very entertaining, and they definitely got me wondering, were we getting the Cena face turn? They teased it. They planted the seeds for it. As a match itself, beyond all the shenanigans, I think Punk and Cena had a great match. I thought they did really well with this. And it was a fun conclusion to the show. They set up some stuff for SummerSlam. No Roman Reigns, despite the OTC chants, but I suspect we will see him in the future. And afterwards, as Cena left, CM Punk was trying to sit up. He was having trouble, and he finally sat up at the end. And then we went to the post-game event. And that concluded Night of Champions. So overall, I thought it was another really good pay-per-view from WWE. It was fun, hot crowd, some predictable stuff, but I like how they did some stuff in the main event to keep you wondering. They had Seth Rollins out there with the potential cash-in. You had the tease of a potential Cena face turn. And I liked that they did that stuff to keep you guessing a little bit, because I think we all expected Cena to retain. So I'm going with an 8 out of 10. I thought it was another very good show. A little bit short of what I would say a great pay-per-view, but very strong. I'm a big fan of the earlier shows. And really, I think the only weak point, if there was one, was the Jade Cargill Asuka match. It wasn't bad, but I think it fell a little bit short of being anything other than just an average TV match. So yeah, that's it. That's my thoughts on the show. And Shotgun Justice sent in a £2 super chat, says, can you sing Heidenreich's theme song? I don't even remember Heidenreich's theme song. What is it? The Heidenreich. Is that it? I mean, if there's other lyrics to it, I don't know what it is. I remember Paul Heyman saying that at the beginning of the song. That was the most interesting thing about Heidenreich was Paul Heyman. It was a sign that not everything was meant to be with Heidenreich. It really wasn't. Paul Heyman, he's got Heidenreich there and can't get him over. All right, guys, thank you so much for tuning in today. I appreciate it. Today, it's 4:30 p.m. Eastern time. Nice to be done with the stream early. Stay tuned to NoDQ.com for the very latest news and rumors. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday, or Saturday, actually. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, I should say. Take care, everybody. I will see you next time. Say yes to NoDQ.com.